Hey everybody. So my friends at Haunted in New England had wanted me to do a video for the wonderful GoFundMe online fundraiser that they are doing to try to raise the funds for our family, for my husband and I, for us to do more of the medical treatments, the holistic and the alternative treatments. But bottom line, the necessary treatments needed to get the help that we need in the house and whatnot, and everything that we need for me to be able to have a chance to actually get better. Everybody keeps saying the same thing: get better soon. And, they want me to get well. Well, this is unfortunately easier said than done in this case. So I am doing a video to share my story. So my name is Kathryn Casey Hill Narcisi. I am a mom of 5, a wife to Metro, who is a band director, and he is also a professional musician. I'm a grandmother, a nana to 4 beautiful grandchildren, and I am an entrepreneur. I am the owner and creator of a small business that is growing called His and Her Secrets, and we are a lingerie home party company. And I also have a very large online social media following that I like to be an inspiration to, as well as being an advocate to living a healing life and to battling autoimmune diseases and to autoimmune disease awareness, as well as I am a singer and actually perform with my husband. We are have a jazz duo that we perform jazz music together. So I have been extremely sick from my autoimmune diseases for many years. I've been battling them since I was 20 years old. I started getting my first flare-ups from the autoimmune diseases when I was 20. My very first flare-up was I had my right kidney shut down from such severe inflammation that it was more than twice its normal size. And there were a lot of other things going on. I had severe tachycardia with my heart. I was having breathing issues with my lungs from inflammation and a whole bunch of stuff. And over the years, I had 6 different flare-ups that would last 2 to 3 years, but I would have a break in between. And back in 2009, I all of a sudden got very, very sick, actually, while doing my Dixie Diva Club tour for my company. So I started my company back in 2007. It had grown where I had over 100 agents in 22 different states. I was a single mom back then. My husband had left when my 2 younger daughters from my last marriage were only 9 months old and 2 years old. He left when I was diagnosed with cervical cancer that I had developed from the chronic inflammation from the autoimmune diseases, was having other problems from that, and my daughter was diagnosed with severe autism. And he just went to work one day and didn't come home. I raised him alone for 11 years, battling these diseases. I got really sick in 2009. I was promoting my company that I had started. I was very proud. I'm still very proud of it. And the thing is at that time, I had to emergently move from where I was living. I had relocated from my home state of Rhode Island to Georgia, and I had to relocate back home because my gallbladder was literally about to rupture inside of me. It was so inflamed. And when they pulled it out, they realized that I had severe autoimmune disease attacking my internal organs. And that's what was going on with my gallbladder. It wasn't regular gallbladder issues. And it actually ruptured inside of me before they took it out. And from then, I continued to have liver inflammation and pancreas inflammation, causing chronic pancreatitis. And I've developed disease in my liver. Um, and now, recently, um, what happened last year is I started developing severe tachycardia in my heart. My heart became extremely unstable. So unstable by the fall that initially I'd been diagnosed with lupus, fibromyalgia, Raynaud's phenomena. And my primary doctor was like, something isn't right here. And a few of my other doctors, I had 12 doctors already at that point because so many organs were being attacked. In fact, almost every organ inside of me was being attacked, which lupus is a very severe, brutal disease. But this was even more brutal than lupus. And my doctors knew something wasn't right. They sent me to Boston, Massachusetts, to Brigham and Women's Hospital, where I then had started to to go see the doctors up there. And that's when they discovered that I actually had something called scleroderma. Undifferentiated connective tissue disease is my actual full diagnosis, which means that I have the symptoms of many autoimmune diseases, including lupus, scleroderma, and mixed connective tissue disease, and a whole bunch of other diseases. So from there, my heart had become this past that adventure had, my heart had started last April 2017. We ended up in Boston in October 2017, this past October. By November, I got to the point where my heart was so bad that I couldn't even take a shower. Like, I literally couldn't bathe. I couldn't brush my teeth. I would become winded and like my heart would go into where it was going to go into cardiac arrest from me doing the simple movement of brushing my teeth, the simple movement of going to the bathroom, the simple movement of trying to shower. We had to start having 2 different VNA services, visiting nursing services, coming in. An actual CNA helping me to wash my hair. At that point, when I couldn't walk, I couldn't even get out of bed to go to my doctors. They had to start having me use a wheelchair to leave the house because it was that taxing on my body to even leave the house. And I wasn't able to leave the bed at all because I couldn't even walk down the stairs. It would take me like 20 or 30 minutes sometimes just to walk up the stairs, because I'd have to walk up a stair or 2 and stop for like 5 or 10 minutes and like take to breathe, because I couldn't get up the stairs. And on top of that, my other organs were, my other organs were, taking hits, and I had other symptoms as well, and pain, of course, severe pain, such severe pain that I was needing pain management every 2 hours. They started chemo emergently the week of Thanksgiving this past 2017. Now, chemo, now some people who know my story know that I have had cancers that have developed from the autoimmune diseases, inflammation, including I just had skin cancer on my nose removed. You see the scar on my nose. My skin cancer, fortunately, wasn't melanoma, it was basal cell. So they removed it, it's gone. So the chemo isn't for cancer. So when you have chemo for cancer, the chemo is being used to kill the cancer cells with hope that the cancer cells will be destroyed, and that's it. It's gone. And then, you can, live. With autoimmune disease, what the chemo is being used for is to destroy my immune system so my immune system doesn't kill me. So my immune system is attacking my organs, my brain, my muscles, my bones, almost everything in my body. The only thing my immune system is not attacking right now is my spleen. And for all we know, it's attacking that. I mean, it's attacking everything. It's literally on a death mission to kill me. And it's because I have this very rare anomaly that doesn't happen. It's very rare to have the form of scleroderma I have. I don't have regular scleroderma. Regular scleroderma is of the skin. You can see it. It ends up deforming your hands and whatnot, similar to rheumatoid arthritis. I have what's called diffuse systemic scleroderma, is what my doctors that are, taking care of my organs are saying is attacking my organs for definite. And mixed connective tissue diseases also. And these are rare diseases and they are very deadly. And once they start attacking the heart and lungs, that is usually it. So once it gets into the heart and lungs, that is the end, what's called the end stage. It's, similar to when someone has stage 4 cancer. That's the end of the disease. That's when the disease is like at the very end. It's going to kill you. So the chemo is being used to stop my immune system from attacking my organs so that I'm sorry. I'm trying not to cry during this. It's so hard at this point. I went through like the phases of grieving when I found out about this. I mean, let me tell you, when I went into the doctor's office in Boston in the first visit, without her even doing any testing, just with her looking at all my medical records, she was like, okay, well, you've been misdiagnosed. And I'm like, what? No, I have lupus. And she was like, no, you have lupus. But that's not what's attacking your organs and trying to kill you. Like you have more than lupus. And, when I go into my doctor's appointments and they're trying to like keep things light and upbeat, and they're like, oh, our special patient, or like, there she is, the legend, the myth, because I'm really defying the odds. I've lived 24 years, apparently, with this anomaly of diseases, and I've made it into remission 6 times. This is my 7th time having a major flare-up. So I've had remission before, but I've never had the diseases in my heart and my lungs this bad is what the difference is. And it's never been this severe. And the other thing that is going on is that I've now developed damage. So what people die from with autoimmune diseases, so autoimmune diseases are triggered by things. We've already figured out like different things, and we're trying to remove as much, stress can trigger it. Foods, we've removed the foods. I'm on this strict diet. We're doing all of that stuff. So, okay. So how do you make it better? So there's all different kinds of treatments. There's acupuncture. There's going to see the holistic doctor. There's different stuff. There are no medicines. Unfortunately, the chemo is not going to make this better. There's no magic antibiotic or pill. There's no cure for autoimmune disease. You have to get remission. And it's doing all of these treatments that are out there. And these treatments cost money, and money that is expensive. I mean, I'm talking, for me to do the treatment plan, for me to have a chance at this remission, we're talking like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month. It's going to cost easily. And if we don't do this treatment plan and get remission, what is going to happen is, unless I get a miracle and, and get remission otherwise, which, is not, I'm getting sicker and sicker, I'm going to die. And what's going to happen is at some point my organs are going to give out, because what happens is my immune system is still, bothering my organs. The chemo is killing off my immune system as much as it can. They can only give me so much chemo every week, or they could kill me. Chemo is a toxin. It's poison. The chemo itself is slowly poisoning me. So I could end up dying from the chemo itself, from toxicity. I could max out the chemo, meaning they can't give me any more, or they will kill me. And I'll have an injection one day and it'll be fatal. And it is that keep having the chemo. Everybody's like, oh, the chemo's doing great. Well, yeah, I could have a fatal injection one day. So no, the chemo isn't great. I need remission. I'm going to die at some point in the more nearer future without remission. And I don't want to. I'm trying to be positive on my Facebook. I know I have thousands of people on my social media, on my Instagram, on my Twitter, between my Twitter, my Instagram, my Pinterest, my Facebook especially has thousands. And I, but it's the reality. So I've had to stop working as much as I do because I'm so sick. And even though I am, the chemo has gotten me to where and I've been doing my physical therapy and stuff, and it's gotten me to where I am not walking with my cane and I'm not needing the wheelchair, and my heart is very strong, and my heart fortunately didn't get damaged. I developed a tumor in my breast, and I developed from inflammation. It's inflammatory tissue. The biopsy came back, it's inflammatory tissue. Well, where did that come from? Fortunately, it's not breast cancer, it's benign, but it's inflammatory tissue. And inflammatory tissue can turn into cancer. And I have a tumor that developed on my liver, and I have a tumor that developed on my kidney, in my kidney. And I just had to come back sooner than I was supposed to. From my husband was able to take my daughters and I with him on he had a school trip. He's a band director, and it was Disney year. Thank God I needed a break, and he was able to take the girls and I, because otherwise there would be no vacation this year for us, because we can't, I don't get, do any woman things for myself. No nails, no hair, no treats for me. It's, we don't go out to eat at all anymore. On the rare occasion we go out to eat, it's like very, very rare, no anything for us as a family. And so he was able to do it as, part of the school trip, and the girls and I were able to go accompany him on the school trip and be in his room with him. And then we were visiting with my daughter, and she just had my new granddaughter, who's only a month old. And I had to cut the trip short to come home because they had found these tumors before I left, and the one on my liver, they're doing another MRI. They found them on MRI. They're doing another MRI in June because they're afraid of, the potential of, if there's more inflammation in my liver than what's showing up on the test, they could rupture my liver, and then that's it. So they're going to watch it and see if it grew. And then if it grows on the next MRI, then they will go from there and probably do a biopsy. But the one in my kidney, they can't mess around with, because apparently when you develop a tumor in your kidney, it is more often than not cancer. So they need to go in and do surgery. My cardiologist cleared me for surgery. So it's looking like that is probably going to be happening. So how can we stop this? We have to start doing these treatments again and getting all of the help that we need in the house, all of the things that cost all of this money for me to be able to rest, for me to be able to, do whatever we need to do for me to get well, we need to be able to do. And my Haunted New England family is helping with this GoFundMe fundraiser. My daughters aren't ready to lose their mom. My son isn't either. My grandchildren aren't. My husband, that poor guy, he already lost his first wife. I can't even imagine what it's like to be in his shoes right now, because my husband lost his first wife 5 years ago to a 14-year battle with breast cancer. They were married for 19 years, and 4 years after he married her, she found out she had breast cancer, and that was 14 years of their marriage, and she passed away 5 years ago. And her memory actually keeps me going right now, because he tells me stories about her fight and how strong she was. And that's helping me, and I know she's an angel watching over us right now. But I can't imagine what it's like. We've only been married for a year. We were married on December 25th, 2016, and he is not ready to lose his second wife, and he is determined for me to get remission. And our little girls are 13 and 14. He adopted my daughters that I had been raising alone. He adopted them last summer. He had never had children. He wasn't able to have children with his first wife. And I know that the people following me want me to live. I've been trying to grow my sales agent team stronger and get more women. I need more women to become sales agents for my company. We're lingerie home parties, and more women to have lingerie parties with my company, and more customers for his and her secrets. But of course, it's just me that's out there promoting it, and I'm doing it from bed as much as I can, and it's a slow process. So until I get, a really strong sales agent team and more women that are behind being cat strong and Team KC, where we need help. So thank you to everybody at Haunted in New England for helping with this GoFundMe and everything you're planning to help raise these funds. And thank you for everybody who is donating and who's already donated. And thank you for everybody in advance who's helped. And I hope that helps everybody to understand our story and my story and about autoimmune diseases and what's happening. So we don't have a cure. There is no cure. Nothing is going to magically make me better, and the chemo will never make me better. The chemo, if anything, will eventually kill me because it is toxic. And it is beating me up already. We need remission, and we need to get my treatment started. I had to stop doing my treatments months ago, and I just privately just dealt with it and never said anything, because when I stopped being able to work as much as I usually did, and then my husband, ironically, one of his jobs, he's a professional musician and a professional teacher, and his music job, he had retired. And we're doing music, but we're not, he's not working as much as he used to, and whatnot. So our income had shifted greatly, and we have to live. We need a roof over our head, and we need to take care of our little girls. And I had to make a choice to sacrifice my own well-being and my own health over taking care of my family and my children. And I'm always going to take care of my little girls. I've always put my little girls first and my kids first. And that's how it's going to be. I'm not going to let my family get homeless or have them not have food. My husband's like, well, we can eat ramen 3 meals a day. No, I'm not having my family eat ramen 3 meals a day so I can do my treatments. That's not okay. It's bad enough that we can't go on vacation like we usually do, and we can't even go out to eat or to the movies or do fun things like we used to. I'm not going to take anything more away from my family. Okay, well, I am now a crying, blubbering wreck, so I'm going to stop this. And
Thank you, everybody. And thank you for those who are praying and a constant inspiration. And anyone who wants to follow me online, my His and Her Secrets is on Facebook and our website and whatnot. And you can find me, Casey Hill, a K and a C, and then Hill, Hill. And I am on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and Pinterest, and I actually have groups about where I share my story on Facebook about my fight with autoimmune disease. And thank you, everybody. And for you to find the GoFundMe, it is Help Casey Live for Her Children, I believe is how it's worded. Help Casey Live for Her Children is what the GoFundMe is. And Help K and a C, Help Casey Live for Her Children, yeah. And then if you can't find it, you can definitely find it on my Facebook pages, and everything is like hashtag Cat Strong with a cat with a K, KAT Strong, and Team Casey. Thank you so much, everybody, and God bless.